eggs being put out there right now. I want to make sure we dispel that right off the gate.
It's about wireless
The effects
information.
of wireless on health scientifically are very, very clear.
So it's always pushed back to the definition of an
Senator
acceptable
Patrick
level
Colbeck.
of radiation. And that's what this is, by the way. This is about radiation.
Wireless radiation has biological effects, period.
My name is Dr. Angie Colbeck. I've been reviewing the studies showing the impacts of wireless radiation on our health, and there are now thousands of studies showing the following adverse health impacts to wireless radiation: cancer, oxidative damage, DNA damage, DNA failure.
Things like memory, dizziness, anxiety, brain fog.
Headaches, nosebleeds, cognitive problem, exhaustion.
We have evidence of DNA damage, cardiomyopathy, which is the precursor of congestive heart
Now watch
failure.
and listen to
Short
this.
and long-term memory loss, decreased attention spans, lower reaction times, even involuntary contractions of muscles.
There's a hidden war
misalignments
going
of
on,
spines
and I want to
jaws.
show it to
Breast
you
cancer.
in
We suddenly
detail.
have breast cancer in women.
This
who
is
have
why
no
we're not
DNA
responsive.
predisposition.
This is why.
Disrupted immune function.
This is why we're not
change in
doing
stress
anything.
proteins, reproductive and fertility effects.
There are dozens and dozens of studies that show beyond any doubt what this radiation is doing to our sperm. Now, if you
Yep.
take the cell phone out of your pocket, the sperm will recuperate within 3 to 4 months. What would not recuperate would be the damage to the DNA of the sperm. That is irreparable.
You hear that?
The wife of the ex-governor of Indiana was diagnosed with glioblastoma. Same brain tumor Ted Kennedy had and John McCain had. Did you look at John McCain's car? This is a cell phone brain tumor. LeBron James,
Wow.
one of our sports people, had a salivary gland tumor. That is another cell phone tumor. You didn't hear about it because immediately after that was discovered, he was paid by Samsung to become their spokesperson.
It's
We
everywhere.
are seeing increases in brain tumors. We're seeing increases in Alzheimer's. We're seeing increases in all
The number one
neurotransmitter
increase in
diseases,
medical marijuana
ALS,
facilities and
Lou Gehrig's
clinics
disease,
among the young today
Parkinson's.
are
These
brain
are
tumors.
all disease systems that are known to be associated with low-level energy exposures.
We talk about the 24/7 around the clock exposure, wherever you are and your whole body. You never get away from it. And it seems from our studies.
Now, the thing I
that
want to show you about
your
are your
immune system
smart
can cope
meters.
with for a time, but it will
It's going to blow you away as
then
far as
the
how much energy they
radiation
use and what is
will definitely
safe.
damage cells at the depot level, and the question is, what will then happen?
These are out of peer-reviewed papers, so these are not just hypochondriacs thinking that they're doing it. We're having real problems with this.
This is no longer a subject for debate when you look at PubMed and the peer-reviewed literature. These effects are seen in all life forms: plants, animals, insects, microbes. So 5G is not a conversation about whether or not these biological effects exist. They clearly do.
There is scientifically evidence that is so strong that you can be certain that the standards used by the SCC to manage health effects are wrong.
Now,
We need to start
look
measuring
at this.
how much radiation are people being exposed to.
This is the thing.
Before we roll out 5G, there are 4 kinds of electromagnetic fields that we know are harmful to human health. So radio frequency radiation, magnetic fields, dirty electricity, and electric fields. Okay? Our exposure, any given person, and all humans are affected by EMFs. What is our exposure? In a day, it's not one cell phone.
Right. Look at this.
Cell phones, it's multiple wireless networks, it's smart meters, it's cell towers. It's this sandwich, and it all adds up.
It's
The
dangerous.
data we're going to look at are all published science testing results or public standards. At the bottom end of the radiation scale of what's called power density or signal strength is the minimum level at which cell phones will work.
Now this,
which was found to be
watch
0.2
this.
billionths of a microwatt per centimeter
This
squared.
is where we're the victims.
Pine needles were found to age prematurely at 0.000027. At short-term exposures of 0.05, children aged 8 to 17 experienced headache, irritation, concentration difficulties, and behavioral problems. Point 1 is the biobiology or building biology guideline for extreme concern. 1.0 produced sperm DNA fragmentation and a decrease in sperm viability in
At
vitro.
1.
Also at 1.0, the science shows the following bodily effects can occur: headaches, dizziness, fatigue, insomnia, chest pain, difficulty breathing, and indigestion. 2.5 saw altered calcium metabolism in heart muscle cells. 4.0, changes in the hippocampus affecting brain memory and learning. And at 6.0, DNA damage in cells. So where are smart meters on this list?
Look at this.
Electrical Power Institute
Look
in
at
December
this, guys.
2010 measured a single Itron smart meter with pulses up to 7.93 microwatts per centimeter
And they're on the
squared.
side of our homes.
Our own testing indicated approximately 8.0 with 1 meter. These tests are at a close distance, approximately 1 foot away from the meter, but an infant's crib could be just as close on the other side of the wall where the meter or bank of meters are installed.
You hear that?
Even though there are all these known health effects at levels far lower, Switzerland, Liechtenstein, and Luxembourg see fit to set the standard at 9.5. And China, Poland, and Russia, 10.0. This is the same level at which behavior has been altered, producing reflexes of avoidance following 30-minute exposures.
We have a hidden war.
A room of 12
And that's why I'm showing
very
this to
common
you.
and even a conservative number in an apartment building, tested at 19.8 microwatts per centimeter squared. This is hundreds of times higher than levels which clearly indicate harmful effects. So how can utilities and governments get away with forcing these devices on everyone? This is how. In Canada and the US and several other civilized countries, the safety limit
Look
is set at
at
600
this.
to 1,000 microwatts per centimeter squared. This so-called safety limit is literally tens of thousands of times higher than levels which are known to damage health, according to peer-reviewed published science.
So, now you're going to see some Congress people talking about it.
Better, more reliable internet. That's the promise of 5G technology, but there is also the peril. Health hazards associated with radio frequency that is higher also and requires more transmitters and antennas. And the stark, simple fact is the health hazards are unknown and unstudied. And that is a sign of neglect and disregard on the part of the Federal Communications Commission.
Yep.
That seems unacceptable. There have been no answers so far. The FCC basically has said everything's fine, but in order to reach a conclusion about the health and safety of this new technology, we need fact.
Well, there we go.
Mr. Chairman, thank you for having this hearing.
Look at this.
5G, as you well know, also uses higher frequency waves that don't travel as far and will rely on a network of hundreds of thousands, potentially millions of small cell sites. And the question then is, are there any health implications, any public safety implications to
Thank you,
those
Mr. Blumenthal.
additional
Thank you.
sites that are likely to be located close to homes, schools, workplaces, and closer to the ground? Correct?
Correct, Senator. Yes.
So my question for you, particularly Mr. Gillen and Mr. Berry, how much money has the industry committed to supporting additional independent research? I stress independent research. Is that independent research ongoing? Has any been completed? Where can consumers look for it? And we're talking about research on the biological effects of this new technology.